about me and you.
You mean this is about you? About how you always have to be in the front when what you really need to do is just step back.
Oh, no, man, we ain't going back out there.
And why not, Bones?
We just got done singing on Lang Syne. Hell, I'm tired.
Hi, Tia. Would you like to go to Brian Foster's party with me?
Yes!
Okay, well, I'll see you at 7:30.
Oh, I'm acting like one. Sleeping with a man.
So you're cheating on me?
Hey, why did you get into acting? Besides for the ladies and the, you know.
No, but I got into it because of the gift. You know what I mean? I wanted to be, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a lawyer and a minister. That was where I was at that time. In my head, that's where I was. And so because of the gift, I went to a Disney audition, you know, knocked it out the park. They said, look, he's not going to get this part. I think it's an unspoken reason why at the time. But, you know, they was like, you're not going to get this, but he needs to be in this business.
What if the man who brought Al Bryant to life in one of TV's most iconic music biopics spent nights sleeping in his car while chasing the very dreams he'd already lived on screen?
This jump entails me staying in my car at night, that is, sleeping in my car.
I'm talking about Chaz Lamar Shepard, the Philadelphia-born triple threat who's graced Broadway stages, dominated television screens, and poured his soul into music that makes you feel every note. But behind the applause and the accolades lies a journey of raw faith, crushing loss, and a controversy involving his ex-wife that blindsided the entertainment world. And trust me, the final secret about what he sacrificed for his craft will leave you speechless. Born on October 26, 1977, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Chaz wasn't handed his destiny. He stumbled into it.
My name is Chaz Shepard and I'm from Philadelphia. Most of the time it's Philly, but when I want to make sure there's no misunderstanding, I say Philadelphia.
At just 5 years old, he learned lines to MC his mother Cheryl Shepard's dance studio recital. But this wasn't just cute kid stuff. Cheryl, who ran the first young people's dance company in Philadelphia, demanded excellence. Every line had to be delivered with character, with drama, with life. That foundation shaped everything. By age 12, Chaz landed his first professional union gig at the Walnut Street Theater in Huckleberry Finn. He was too young for the production, but his talent was undeniable.
I started professionally at 12 here in Philadelphia. First union project being Huckleberry Finn at the Walnut Street Theater. I was too young really for the production, but because they liked me and my talent, they just found somewhere for me to be in the play.
They found a place for him anyway, and that's when the doors started opening. But here's what most people don't know. Chaz never actually decided to become an actor. A casting director at a Disney audition saw something special. Though he didn't get the part, she told his mother, he's not going to get this, but he needs to be in this business. She set up a meeting with a New York agent. Cheryl looked at her son and asked if he wanted to go. Chaz simply looked up and said, okay.
A casting director offered for me to audition or at least meet with an agent in New York, and my mother asked if I was interested or if I wanted to do it. I just looked up and said, okay, sure.
That one word changed everything. The bookings came immediately. Chaz moved to California in 1992 or 1993 to film his first TV show, Sinbad.
But the first time I came to California, I believe was in, well, I believe it was 1993. And that was because I was doing my first TV show called Sinbad.
He was barely in his teens. After a year back in Philly, he returned to Los Angeles for Steve Harvey's debut sitcom, Me and the Boys, in 1994. And this is where Chaz's relationship with Steve Harvey began, a connection that would prove crucial to his music career years later.
Dad, I still say that pass was fine.
Son, what is the key to passing?
Speed and accuracy.
Nope. It's the family knows.
But while TV was making him a household face, Chaz was living a double life. Music wasn't just a side hustle, it was his identity. Before he ever appeared on a major television show, he was writing, producing, and performing.
I was music from the beginning.
Okay.
Music, before I even knew I was in the music, of course. So you're talking about from a baby on up. Was writing and performing music before I came out on any TV show.
He'd even received record deal offers. At West Angeles Church of God in Christ in Los Angeles, he was leading praise and worship, directing choir, assembling groups. The church community knew Chaz Lamar Shepard, the musician, long before the world knew Chaz, the actor. Then came 1996, the year that would define him in ways he never imagined. First, Set It Off, director F. Gary Gray's gritty crime thriller starring Queen Latifah, Jada Pinkett, Vivica A. Fox, and Kimberly Elise. Chaz played a teenager caught in a shooting scene that still haunts viewers today. He was just a kid himself, navigating a set with Hollywood heavyweights. The experience was transformative. F. Gary Gray was the only director who actually focused on the craft of acting with him, giving him what felt like an acting class on set. Jada was encouraging and kind. Vivica was authentically herself, real and approachable. Kimberly Elise was the humble newcomer, soaking it all in. That same year, he appeared in Eddie Murphy's The Nutty Professor, adding another major film credit to his growing resume. But nothing, absolutely nothing, could have prepared him for what came next. The Temptations miniseries. Casting director Suzanne DePass and director Alan Arkush were looking for young actors to portray the legendary Motown group. Chaz auditioned for a different role, but they told him he was too young. He left the audition room forgetting his radio. When he came back to grab it, they stopped him.
But I left the radio. When I came back in to get the radio, I said, I'm sorry, I'm just grabbing the radio. They said, oh, wait, that's right. You didn't even get to, do anything for us. Let's just do something anyway.
They asked him to perform something anyway. That spontaneous moment sparked everything. They realized they had another character in the story, Al Bryant, the original Temptation who started the group with Otis Williams but left before they hit it big. A character nobody knew existed. Chaz originated that role, bringing Al Bryant to life with nothing but the script and his instincts. He had no contact with the real Al Bryant, no direction about who he was. He just had to trust what jumped off the pages. The chemistry between the cast was electric. Leon, D.B. Woodside, Christian Payton, and Teron Brooks. Leon made sure to maintain that David Ruffin dynamic even off camera, creating authentic tension that translated beautifully on screen. The bond they formed was real, and it showed. Chaz performed all his own vocals, singing classic Temptations harmonies with a passion that came from deep admiration for that Motown era. The miniseries became a cultural phenomenon. To this day, people stop Chaz on the street, reciting lines and recreating dance moves. He'd tapped into something timeless. Years later, when the Temptations hit Broadway, Chaz attended opening night with Leon. Watching someone else play Al Bryant, the role he originated, was surreal. But while Hollywood was celebrating him, Chaz's heart was elsewhere. Throughout the late 1990s and early 2000s, he balanced acting with his true passion, music. He signed with Atlantic Records during his 2-year run on Seventh Heaven from 1999 to 2001, where he played Nigel.
I've never threatened you. I've never hit you or harmed you or anyone else. Yet no matter where I go, people are afraid of me because I'm black.
But the album never came out. The church community still knew him as a musician, but the world at large, they only saw the actor.
At the point that I was on Seventh Heaven for about a 2-year run, I was signed to Atlantic Records during that time. It's just that record didn't come out, so of course people didn't know the music side still then.
He appeared in Queen, 1993, alongside Halle Berry, playing a young character who got thrown from a horse doing his own stunt. He guest starred on shows like Sister, Sister with Tia, and Tamara Mowry, Minor Adjustments, and The Steve Harvey Show, building a relationship with Wendy Raquel Robinson that would span multiple projects over the years. In 2006, Chaz booked a pilot with Nick Lachey. That same year, Broadway called. The Color Purple brought him to New York, where he played Harpo, opposite Fantasia Barrino. The experience was magical, performing 8 shows a week, pouring his soul into every note and scene. He moved from there to Dreamgirls, continuing his theater dominance. Then for about a year and a half, nothing. No acting gigs, just silence. For someone who'd worked consistently since age 12, that silence was deafening. But Chaz wasn't idle. He was writing, producing, preparing. He understood what Steve Harvey once told him. When you look up and you ain't got nothing to show for everything you've done, that's when you start working. In 2010, everything shifted. Chaz released his debut album, Love and Truth, an independent project that showcased his songwriting and production skills.
Can you lay by my side tonight?
And the person who championed it harder than anyone, Steve Harvey. Harvey played the album on his radio show, raved about it, gave it the kind of push that money can't buy. Suddenly, people were calling Chaz Steve Harvey's dude.
I wanna know why.
The album featured songs Chaz had written for other artists too, Patrice Covington, tracks that ended up in Tyler Perry's Why Did I Get Married To, including Chemical Reaction. He was building a music career on his own terms, micromanaging every detail, refusing to compromise his artistic vision. But independence came with a price. 2015 marked Chaz's return to television after a 3-year absence from the industry. He booked projects with Fox and Disney, slowly rebuilding momentum. He joined the game on BET, playing a recurring role as the Reggie Bush-type character, Melanie's childhood friend who'd made it big in football. The chemistry with the cast, especially Wendy Raquel Robinson and Tia Mowry, felt like coming home.
My character is the Reggie Bush of the show.
Oh!
So yeah, he's the big-time football player. Grew up with Melanie.
Then came the Broadway production of Chicago, where he played Billy Flynn, followed by national tours. Chaz was everywhere: television, film, theater, music venues. He performed at jam sessions, open mics, anywhere he could connect with audiences through song. But behind the success, tragedy was lurking. In 2012, Cheryl Shepard, the woman who discovered Chaz's gift, who nurtured it, who sacrificed her own thriving career at age 45 to manage his, who moved to California with him and pushed him out of the nest when it was time, died.
My mother, who just passed away a month ago.
Yes, I'm sorry.
She was in my corner. She was the first one to give me vision, So I showed her that I could sing.
Chaz's grief was profound. She'd lived long enough to see some fruit from her obedience to her spirit, some beautiful moments that made the sacrifice worthwhile. But he wished she'd experienced more luxury, more of the abundance she'd helped him create.
She did enjoy some, but more of the luxury. More of the luxury of life. She did some, but I would have liked, because she did give all of herself to me at a point.
Her death became a catalyst for Chaz's 2013 project, a short documentary film called The Jump. What he revealed in that documentary shocked everyone who knew him. Chaz was homeless, sleeping in his car at night. He'd left a more stable financial situation, given up his own place, to chase his dreams with complete faith. Friends offered help, but Chaz saw it as his journey, his responsibility. He didn't want to intrude on anyone's space more than necessary.
This jump entails me staying in my car at night, that is, sleeping in my car. Though there are friends around, I believe this is my journey and my responsibility.
It wasn't desperation, it was dedication. He called it the jump.
This jump, the jump being moving from a comfort zone to something new that I have not experienced before, but what I believe in. That's what the jump is.
The documentary captured him living this reality while still maintaining perfect health, perfect physique, staying ready for opportunities. His goals were clear: be a consistent resource of inspiration and provision to his daughter, live according to his standards of comfort for the rest of his life.
To be a consistent, highly paid actor in quality productions, to distribute, perform, and sell my music throughout the world.
Share his life through verbal, musical, scripted, and literary communication. Remain out of unwanted debt forever. And speaking of his daughter, Chaz became a father in the midst of all this. His daughter, now his greatest motivation, was 2.5 when he spoke about fatherhood. He approached parenting the same way his mother approached raising him, with intention, wisdom, and unconditional love.
This is when my daughter is with me on Christmas. The first thing we have to do before she could get any gifts is we go out and we make sure that we give.
Because if Christmas is about Jesus, it's about others. The controversy that would later emerge, though, had nothing to do with Chaz's parenting. It involved his ex-wife and a messy legal battle over their son that thrust his personal life into unwanted headlines. But Chaz had learned to separate art from personal struggles. He'd continue pushing forward. In 2016, he co-authored his first novel, In Case You Forgot, with Frederick Smith.
And I'm Frederick Smith. This is my 4th novel, In Case You Forgot, co-written with Chaz.
The book followed 2 characters navigating relationships, work, and new beginnings in West Hollywood over the course of a year. Chaz created Zaire James, a character going through divorce, mirroring his own life transition.
And so one major element that my personal life that I was going through that Zaire shares, and that's pretty much it, just one major fact, is that Zaire is going through a divorce, and I also went through a divorce. And so that was one transition that I was intentional about putting into the life of Zaire.
The writing process was therapeutic, allowing him to process endings and new beginnings through fiction. The novel became a success, leading to book tours and readings. Fans connected deeply with the themes of hope, mental health, and seeking help when needed. Chaz and Frederick were already planning sequels, continuing Kenny and Zaire's stories. By 2019, Chaz was back on screen in a major way. He appeared in Luke Cage on Netflix, adding another iconic role to his resume.
I hell, I'm just excited you're here. I mean, Luke Cage in my office, man. Look, I'm a big fan. Might even be your biggest.
Then came the Lifetime holiday movie Kirk Franklin's A Gospel Christmas in 2020, co-starring Demetria McKinney. The film premiered to massive success, #1 for the weekend, #3 overall. Chaz had a ball on set, singing with the choir between takes, playing piano, scaring cast members, and switching into character the moment someone yelled action.
They need to know that Christ is Christmas.
Around the same time, he released his Christmas album, A Wonderful Christmas, featuring 7 original songs that defied typical holiday music tropes. It was fresh, soulful, timeless, the kind of album you could play any time of year. Within 24 hours of release, fans were posting videos of themselves listening in their cars, singing along, celebrating the music.
What would it be like if you were not here?
In 2022, Chaz achieved another milestone, starring as Marvin Sapp in TV1's biopic Never Would Have Made It, The Marvin Sapp Story. Playing the legendary gospel singer allowed Chaz to merge his acting and musical gifts in the most profound way yet. Currently, Chaz continues working on new music projects, including poetry collaborations and potential sequels to In Case You Forgot. He's developing a nonprofit focused on community improvement in Philadelphia, specifically targeting the school district to help students understand their options and get excited about their futures.
You know, when I get a chance, music has been the main focus in community development as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so without saying more than there is to it right now, starting a nonprofit right now as well.
Because everything, as the Bible says, starts with renewing your mind. His net worth as of 2024 is estimated at $1.5 million, a testament to decades of consistent work across multiple industries, though Chaz would tell you the real wealth is in the journey, the people you touch, and staying true to what's inside you, from sleeping in his car to novel tours. Chaz Lamar Shepherd didn't just follow his gift. He sacrificed everything for it, lost a woman who believed in him first, and kept pushing through homelessness, heartbreak, and headlines to become the artist he knew he was meant to be. And that journey, messy, painful, and brutally honest, is exactly what makes his story so powerful. Because Chaz's career isn't a fairy tale about talent being discovered. It's a testimony about what happens when you refuse to quit, even when quitting would be easier. Even when you're living out of your car wondering if you made the biggest mistake of your life. Even when the love of your life walks away because the dream you're chasing has cost too much for too long. He didn't take shortcuts. He didn't compromise. He sang in choirs, pounded pavement for auditions, took roles that paid the bills, while waiting for roles that fed his soul. And when Broadway finally came calling, when Luke Cage put him in front of millions, when his novel hit shelves, it wasn't luck. It was vindication for every night he spent wondering if he'd ever make it. Chaz Lamar Shepherd is proof that talent without tenacity means nothing, that faith without sacrifice is just a fantasy, and that sometimes the price of becoming who you're meant to be is losing the people you thought would be there to see it. But he paid that price. He did the work. And now, whether he's acting, singing, or writing, Chaz stands as living evidence that your gift will make room for you, if you're willing to make room for your gift first, no matter what it costs.